Dawson Rider Wiki.
Dawson Rider here with my review of the Deluxe Trans Steam Gun from Kamen Rider Build. This is the transformation device and gun weapon used by Night Rogue. I almost said that weird for some reason. And Bloodstalk, or Bloodstark. I think it's Stark, but they put Stalk in the subtitles, but Stark just sounds better, even though Stalk is kind of like stalking. I don't know. Anyway, let's go over real quick the box. Like usual, it's a pretty neat box. It's that weird. I mean, they've been using it for a while, but I just always feel the need to point out it's weird. It's like a reverse style packaging where usually this would be the front. But you got a picture of those two on the front, and then you know what you get in it, which is the bottle and the weapon, and then a side shot there. That continues sort of the art from the front, and then another shot. And then that sort of shows the functions and other stuff in the line that you can use with it that's out right now. More functions showing and promo shots, and then on the bottom, another promo shot of Night Rogue, and then there's the numbers that I always say I'm going to call for a joke and then never do. I'm going to leave this in the background for now, but if it steals too much focus, I'll get it out of here. Okay, so here's the weapon. It's a pretty standard sort of hand weapon. It's a decent enough size, honestly, for what it is in the show. I mean, I'm sure there's a difference. I'm not a math whiz or a scientist or a priest or something that could tell you the exact size, but honestly, just from the way it looks in the show, it's a pretty solid size comparison, which isn't the usual case. And design-wise, it's very okay. I do kind of like it, but it's also just kind of very basic. Like, when you just look at it, it's just kind of this black hunk of plastic with a few little science-y designs on it. But, like, I do kind of like it, like I said, but otherwise, it's honestly a basic design, both just for the toy and just for the show in general. It includes the bat bottle, which uses for transformation, and there's a few different things that separate it from the regular bottle. First of all, you got this cool sort of silvery design on here to accentuate the bat design, which is neat. And the color on these outsides here are a little bit different. And then at the top, you just have one letter. You don't have two letters like here is Rabbit. You have the two letters to show what its best match is. So this one does not have a best match. But it still functions the same with the shaking. You can see the little bit in there and stuff like that. And it's not like too differently shaped. I mean, it isn't differently shaped than the others. So it's not like a totally different one. It's more like a little repaint with some slight detail differences. Okay, sound-wise, this guy's pretty simple. So turn it on here. And you get that, you know, confirmation noise where we usually get of it saying its name. Before I continue, I do want to make note that the batteries are stored both here and here. I don't know why. Most things I've had that required more than one battery place of just so many batteries. All right, this is going out. It's stealing focus. Boom, there it goes. But most things that have required, you know, more batteries have been large items, and this is one of the smaller Toku toys, and for some reason it requires 3 batteries. Also, this is like kind of a weird thing, but you can see here that the screw is like really far in. This is something else that's happening on stuff like Kureno, which I just wanted to point that out because I keep forgetting to point it out in Kureno and stuff like that. It's really kind of obnoxious to get to when you're putting the batteries in. There's one special screwdriver I have that fits in there, but otherwise I'd be SOL and have to run to the store to get one because my main ones don't fit in there. That sounds gross, but I don't know. I just wanted to point out how stupid that is. Anyway, let's get to the sounds now that we've gone on a rant about screwdriver sizes. So press the button here. You get blasty noises. It's a scientific term, blasty noises. Look it up in the science book. You hold it down, nothing special happens, but you can rapid fire it. And that is your base functions without a bottle or anything. But now when we put the bottle in, you kind of load it like a magazine, which kind of works for both this and the combined mode, which is nice. I really do dig the noises for that, and as a lot of people have pointed out, it's very reminiscent in a lot of ways to Chaser's weapon from the Machine Breakler? No, Machine Breakler. That sounds weird. But Chaser's transformation gun from Drive, both in the voice very much so reminds me of it, but also just the way it's used and the fact that he also had a bat and a cobra, I believe, and then just the silver outlines of it also remind me of that. But yeah, so I wanted to point that out. So I'll press the button again. And it'll just do the same noise again. And that's it for the functions you get if you just buy this and you have nothing else. But if you buy other stuff, before we get to the blade and stuff, it will just make the same default noise if you put one of his bottles in. So here's Tank. And so just to show, here we have Rabbit as well. I like how I'm the most basic and I always use Rabbit and Tank as my defaults, despite having many more. There we go. So yeah, there's no real differences other than the slight differences in look you'll get and how things light up depending on the color of the bottle. But I am going to show off stuff from the Steam Blade in this. So here's Cobra. Alright, so there's that. And then of course you have the combined mode with the Trans Steam Gun. This is the Trans Steam Gun with the Steam Blade. So there's really no prep needed for this. Like, you don't have to transform it or anything. You just bring in the blade and then you're just going to separate it and put this on the front and we'll actually activate a noise. And then on the back, you also snap it on, but it doesn't change anything. And there's no difference between this being on the back and then this being here. And this also is honestly a pretty solid size. Probably the most size difference, I would say, of the three variations being this and this on its own and then this together. But it's pretty solid on its own, I have to say. And it makes the design a little bit cooler for me, adding all these things together. I almost forgot to do this bit. But it kind of, you know, just looks a little neater, like it makes the sort of science-y technical design cooler, and I do dig it quite a bit design-wise. Okay, so you get some noises here. Rapid fire. Now let's put in Bat. Alright, now I'll show you, again, it'll make sounds for the Build's bottles. And again, just to show that it's the same, here's Tank. Also, I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention it, but the little release switch for the bottle is right back here. So that's how I'm doing that. Alright, now let's do Cobra here. Also, it's worth noting, the sounds on this part don't really change. You can, like, sort of use them together, like... Wait, I should probably turn this on. That would help Dawson, honestly. So... So you can use them together, but it doesn't really work in conjunction with each other, which is kind of disappointing. We got the picture. So you get the same sounds as you would using it normally. Okay, now I'm going to really quickly take a look at what Bat does in the build driver. Handy dandy build driver. Let's go ahead and do a combo right off the bat. and then the attack. Alright, and then I'm going to actually use Cobra as well, just because this is the review to see that in, I suppose. So let's put them both together. Whoops, go wide side. Alright. Alright, and you get the picture. Lastly here, it's super easy to detach this. They both have detaching switches, one right there, one right here, and you're back to normal just like that. So overall, I think this is a pretty solid, fun toy. It's certainly not like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, like, oh, run out and buy this right now, it's the best of the build line, but I think it's fun. I really like the sounds of it. I like the way it functions. Like I said, it has like a very machine-like feel to it, which I really appreciate in toys like this, both when you snap it together and then the way you load the bottles like a magazine. The cool functionality works really well with the Steam Blade, so I definitely recommend getting them together. So like overall, I guess the point I'm trying to get at is somewhere in the middle. It's not like this isn't worth it or this is absolutely amazing worth it, but I think if you like what you see in the show and you're a fan of these characters, then I think you'll like this because I think it's a very solid toy. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Dawson Ryder, signing out.